Sixers fans, welcome back. Look, today Tyrese Maxey, we pick up the third-year option. We pick up the fourth-year option on Matisse Thybulle. More of the young guys to see. What does this mean for Philadelphia? Does this mean anything for Philadelphia? Let's talk about it. Hit the intro. So a couple of hours ago, the Philadelphia 76ers decided to pick up the team options on Tyrese Maxey, obviously, and Matisse Thybulle, obviously. It's the fourth-year team option for Matisse and the third-year option for Tyrese. This is a pretty obvious move on Philadelphia's end. These two dudes, if you really kind of look at the production they bring to the team and put that next to the dollar sign that the Sixers are paying them, are among some of the best underpaid guys in the league. So when it comes to maximizing value on a financial side, the Sixers are obviously in very good shape with guys like Matisse and Tyrese. Also with Seth Curry. I mean, the Mavericks signed Seth Curry, side note, sidebar here, to 4 years, $32 million in 2019. And Duncan Robinson just got like $60 million and is not as good as Seth Curry at all. And then the Mavericks decided to trade Seth Curry to the Sixers for Josh Richardson. Big shout out to Dallas over there. Thank you. Continue to build around Luka in the wrong way and then hire Jason Kidd as a head coach. Okay, my tangent's over. Let's talk Tyrese Maxey first. Saw a couple charts today. And when you see a chart, you're like, it really puts things into perspective. Because you look a lot of numbers, you see a lot of like weird decimals, and you're like, I don't really know what this means, right? But when there's a chart with a bunch of dudes on the chart, you kind of begin to have a grasp of these guys. It was on NBA Math, I think the Twitter is. Check it out. I don't know. They had the Sixers charted out on total possessions, on basically plus minus, on your overall efficiency and production that you bring to the court compared to the minutes that you're playing. Right now, offensively, Tyrese Maxey is the worst player on the Philadelphia 76ers when it comes to efficiency, plus minutes played, and just production, total production. I think it was called TPA, total production allocated. Tyrese Maxey is the worst Philadelphia 76er. And defensively, Tyrese Maxey is the worst defender when it comes to overall minutes. Not a good thing. Tyrese has been a very, I don't want to say bad, but he is not a starting caliber point guard. And he came out, I saw earlier this morning, he came out with a quote that said, he needs to be better. And, of course, I think it's very obvious to anybody who watches the Sixers that the Sixers are really missing playmaking, like, a lot. I mean, as much as Tyrese can go out and get a bucket, which he can among a lot of good dudes in the league, he is not a facilitator, and he's more of a two guard than a point guard, and he's an undersized two guard, which means he is probably going to live his life as a very good bench player, and that's awesome, and I'm still very glad the Sixers have him, but the way that the Sixers are playing him right now and utilizing him right now among the other guys on the team, it's not going to work. The Sixers have no playmaking, like absolutely none. I think Tobias Harris right now is leading the team in assists, and it's a little bit over 5, and Embiid is second, and he's averaging 4. I mean, our offense is struggling. We need facilitating, and I think, especially the way this season I think is going to go, I don't know if Tyrese Maxey is going to be on this team when it comes to the playoffs. I hope he is. But if Ben Simmons is gone, I wouldn't be surprised if Tyrese is also gone with him. I just think it makes a lot of sense because Tyrese is a very, very good basketball player, and he's going to get a lot in return because his ceiling is still high. And I love Tyrese Maxey. I do. And when we're going to talk about the money that we're paying him, it's a massive steal for Philadelphia. For the production that he brings, it's a massive steal. I love Tyrese. But I think when it comes to the Sixers timeline right now, I don't know how much of it makes sense to have Tyrese getting the minutes that he's getting. I think on the other hand, though, Tyrese as a backup point guard is a contending backup point guard. I think he is among one of the better backup point guards in the entire NBA. That means a lot for Philadelphia. That means a lot. So if we can hold on to him and just get a much better facilitating point guard, I think a lot could be really, really good. That means Matisse Thybulle time. Matisse Thybulle. Talk about a massive underpay. I think you look at Matisse's production, and on these same charts, he is hands down, obviously, the best defensive player on the Sixers team. He is producing more on the defensive end than anyone else on the team, regardless of minutes. The only person that's anywhere astronomically close to him is Joel Embiid, and Embiid's a pretty good defender. But Matisse Thybulle is a monster plus defender. He is really, really good. He does a lot. Off the box score, on the box score, he is an all defensive player in his second season. We're paying that dude pennies on the dollar. That's something you hold on to as long as you can. The man is just, he is like a squirrel. Dude's like a squirrel on defense. He just flies around. He's like a dog chasing a frisbee. And the way he reacts it's generational. I think this man is a seriously generational defender. With the size, the length that he has, he can guard 4 positions at a ridiculous rate. But it's just offensively, he brings almost nothing. And it's really, really difficult to have him out in the fourth quarter sometimes when he just can't produce offensively. I think the only thing stopping Matisse Thybulle from getting a Defensive Player of the Year in his career is the fact that he just won't play enough because offensively he can't do enough. And as of now, at least in his career, 3 years in, he just hasn't really progressed offensively. All he needs to do is go to Lou Dort camp and learn how to shoot the corner 3, learn how to shoot from the perimeter just a tad bit better. All I want is a little bit below 3-point percentage average in the league. That's all I want, on a little bit higher volume. But it's a lot to ask for a guy whose jump shot looks like that. I love Matisse. He's one of my favorite players. These guys of Tyrese Maxey and Matisse Thybulle are 2 reasons why I like this Sixers team, because there's a lot not to like right now in Philadelphia, but the young core just is very hard to dislike. These guys go out every single night and go 100% balls to the wall. I respect that. That's Philadelphia basketball. I am more than happy the Sixers are choosing to hold on to these 2 dudes for as long as they can, and I hope it continues to stay that way. Peace out, guys. Go Sixers.